Hello, listeners, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works World. My name is Marion Bevington, and I am your vision host. And what an exciting few weeks it's been. It's like, well, actually, it's an exciting life. Welcome to the movie of my life. You know, there's this saying, isn't there, that we create what we think. You create what you think. Now, I always thought that was nonsense. For many years, I would hear that and it didn't make any sense to me. And I would think, how am I creating what I'm thinking? You know, the people are downstairs right now. The water is off in my block of flats. I didn't create that. I didn't think about that. And the bin men are making a lot of noise outside, emptying the bins and the rubbish. I didn't think about that. I didn't create that. So what does it actually mean when we say you create what you think? Because recently, I'm really beginning to understand what that means. And in a nutshell, what it's beginning to mean for me is that I am the creator of my reality, because my reality is not about what goes on around me and outside me. My reality is what happens inside me. My reality is how I respond and react to different situations, different people, different scenarios, different conditions. All of the things that happen around me are there. They are what they are. And how I react and how I feel about them and what I do about them, that is what I create. And there's only a subtle difference between those two things, because even though what happens around us can seem very traumatic, very shocking, there are so many there are so many great role models. So this is one of the things that I've been so grateful for, that's really helped me in my life, are the role models that I have. And we've got so many great role models, haven't we? So just think about who do you love? So, you know, those questions, if you were going to get stuck in a lift, who would you like to get stuck in a lift with? Or if you were stuck on a desert island, who would you like to come and visit you? Because, so for me, the people who, for me, are really like huge role models. So the people like the Dalai Lama is one of mine. And Nelson Mandela is another one of mine. And they're people that I don't know, but they are role models in a way that what I perceive of who they are is beautiful, compassionate, powerful, but not violent. And to me, I think that for me is the key, is this non-violence. And then role models that I love, that I know, I have a few of those. And actually, I think they're all women. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? I'd not thought about that before. So my role models are my teacher from my yoga school in India, Mrs. Desai, Amity Desai. She is like the biggest heart. She has the deepest sense of compassion and love. She's very childlike. She's kind of a bit giggly, and at the same time, the things that she takes seriously, she does take them very seriously, and she can afford to do that with her giggliness, with her childlikeness, with her compassion, and with her love. She just really embodies the mother. Yeah, I think that's what it is. She really embodies my perception of like the ideal mother. And she's not a mum. She never had any children. She works at the yoga school, and I think all of the yoga students are her children. I'm sure that's what she would say. And there are, again, a few other role models that I have. Marina Nani, the lady that runs this radio station, she's definitely a role model of mine, because since the first day I saw her, she has been giving. She gives her time, her energy, she gives her ideas. She just wants the best for everybody. And in the same way, it's this maternal role, this maternal energy that she emanates that makes you feel looked after. But it makes you feel looked after in a way that you are recognized, that you are validated, that you are loved for who you are, that there's a massive level of acceptance. And in that acceptance, there's no room for violence. There's no room for, so if I do something that is, violent towards myself, so, if I judge myself harshly, or if I do something that's not supporting me or serving me, both Mrs. Desai and Marina, they wouldn't accept that behavior from me. But I know deep in my heart that even though they don't accept some behavior, that they never stop accepting me, the person who I am, the being, the heart, the soul, whatever you want to call it. They never stop accepting and loving me. That's unconditional. And at the same time, they are able to be very discerning about behaviors, about ideas, about the things, bad habits or old patterns of behavior that really are not serving me. They won't accept them. And I know that they don't accept them because they love me, not because they're judging me, not because there's anything about me that is not to them acceptable or valid, or that, and I know that they admire me as well. In that love, to me, I feel admired. I feel there's gratitude on both sides of that relationship. And with my business partner also, with Cheryl Chapman, my business partner for the Find Your Why Foundation. So I've got Stardust with Marina, I've got yoga with Mrs. Desai, and I've got Find Your Why with Cheryl. It's kind of got all bases covered, actually, because all three women are so different. And yet, I really do have a sense of unconditional love. And there's no, as I say, there's no violence accepted in this. And obviously, we're all human. So we do, we can drop into behaviors, or we can drop into habits, or we can get triggered into a state where there is something violent about the energy of that, or aggressive. But for all of us, for the four women that I'm talking about, myself and Cheryl, Marina and Mrs. Desai, I think all of us are very open and accepting of each other's point of view, and we all appreciate that we are taking care of each other. So not only do I feel cared for by Mrs. Desai, by Marina, by Cheryl, but also I know that there is a part of me that is serving them like a mother also, that there is a part of me that feels maternal, protective, wishes to nurture and just hold the relationship for that person in a very deep part of my heart, in a very deep loving part of my heart. So they are major players in my movie. So it all started, didn't it, this conversation about I am the creator of my reality, and what an amazing reality I'm having right now. And I say this quite often, welcome to my movie. My experience of my life is my movie. There is a part of me sitting in the movie theatre of Marion. There is a part of me observing this movie that I am creating around me, the feelings and the ideas that I create, and also the attention that I pay to what is happening around me. So although the external circumstances are not my creation and they're not under my control, I have under my control the choice of where I focus, of where I send my attention. And that takes me to another great part of this concept of I create my reality. This is my movie. I'm the main player. I'm the director. I'm the writer. I'm the producer. I'm everything in my movie. You're just a little star in here at the moment. Welcome. And the understanding of, you know, that's great saying, where attention goes, energy flows. So this has been a point of my daily meditations recently, because I realized that there are things around me that I say I can't control. The noise of the bin men, the lack of water in my block today. There are so many things that I just can't control, but I can control my state. And my state is actually everything. So this, you know, I'm creating my reality, I'm creating my state. And if my state gets out of my awareness, so if I drop into an unconscious state or a subconscious state, an old pattern, this is where my beautiful role model women can point me in the right direction and guide me and lead me back to the best person I can be, the best me I can be in any moment. And so when we think about this idea of attention and energy, so from my yoga studies, it's easier to explain it from my yoga studies. From my yoga studies, there is a concept called Dhaarana, and this means concentration. And Dhaarana is very close to the end of manifestation of what we create. And again, it's the inner state, the inner way of being that I'm creating constantly. And Dhaarana is about concentration. And so concentration is where I choose to place my attention. So at the moment, I'm speaking to a computer and you are listening on the other side. Somewhere out in the virtual world, this sound is reaching you. And so I'm placing my attention, although physically my eyes are looking at a little dot on the screen. So I'm looking at this here, little dot on the screen. So physically, that's what I'm doing. But in my imagination, I am placing my attention on you, the audience. So in my imagination, I'm having a conversation. If I was just talking to the computer, I don't know if I would be able to get into this much flow. I don't know if I would be able to pick up on the idea that this is a conversation, that I am sharing information and I'm sharing what I perceive as wisdom. And the reason that I'm sharing that is because I know that when we share how we perceive what wisdom we've received, that we can help other people. So, and my intention isn't to help anybody specific, because that might not be who actually gets the help. My intention is to share what I know that feels true for me, what I know has helped me, because maybe it will help somebody else. And that maybe is huge for me. That maybe is, it's like I'm setting the intention that the information is here and it's here to be received. So that maybe is like a mango tree. So I'm being a mango tree at the moment because, see, now a mango tree produces beautiful fruit. Why does the mango tree produce beautiful fruit? Actually, so it can reproduce. And look at the gift it gives us. The taste of a mango is, to me, it's divine. It's absolutely divine. And I know me and Marina share this same opinion about mangoes. They are just my favorite thing. They're juicy, they're sweet. Everyone seems to have something different about its flavour. They're just amazing. The colour of them, the texture of them, they're brilliant. But do you think a mango tree actually cares if I enjoy the fruit or not? Do you think the mango tree even notices that I enjoy the fruit or not? The mango tree is set on seeding more trees. So the mango tree is set on sharing its wisdom by having other mango trees to grow, by reproducing its truth, if you like. So the reproduction of a mango's truth, one of the consequences is this juicy, juicy fruit that I absolutely love. So in the same way, I am choosing to share my truth, the truth that I perceive has really served me, in the same way that the mango does. I know for me it's been brilliant stuff, and it is the essence of who I am. And so I'm sharing from the essence of who I am. And there's a part of me, I don't know if mango trees are conscious like I am. They say that they're not, but who knows? Because I don't speak mango tree language, so I can't communicate with a mango tree about the conscious mind. So maybe the mango tree does notice when I'm enjoying its fruit. Who knows? So when I'm sharing wisdom, the point of my attention is on the delivery of the truth from within me. So I'm not sharing wisdom with the computer. I'm sharing wisdom with the universe, basically. And I know that the computer is a tool through which I can share and others can receive. But I'm not going to try and designate who needs to, I think that my sister needs to hear this message now because I can see what she's doing doesn't fit my view of who she is or what I'm not doing that. I don't have any sisters anyway, but I'm not doing that. I'm not sharing specifically to dump it on one person or to change one person or to do anything like that. I'm sharing with an openness that means that what is received is received. And it's the way that I give that's important to me, not the way that the information is received. So I am a speaking professional, and I'm an energy therapist. I'm a yoga teacher. So it's not my career, it's my vocation. My vocation, what I do, the thing that I do is I go deeper and deeper into the process of communication. How can I share my message, my truth, the wisdom that I believe that I've received? How can I share that in a way that is clear, in a way that people actually understand what I'm saying, so that they get it, so that they comprehend it? And how can I share it in a way that people actually want it too? Because, if I don't want something, even if I get it, I'm not really interested because I don't want it. And on the other side, if I really want something but I don't get it, I'm going to keep wanting. So I want to deliver my message so that people get it and that they want it. But I don't want to choose who those people are. And I believe that that's the same for the role models that I have, that the message is bigger than the person. The message is so much bigger than the person. My message is so much bigger than me. And yet that's all I can be is me. That's all I can do and be is myself. And so trying to improve my movie every day, trying to improve the movie so that it is entertaining, so that it does make sense, so that people do get what message I'm sharing, and so that it's entertaining and engaging, so that it, this heart connection that I was talking about with all of the women that I love in my life, that we are really connecting on a level of the heart. And it's true, isn't it, that when we hear or understand something from somebody, we understand it because of the way that it feels. When you feel confused, don't you, that there's something not settled, there's something not right. And if you hear somebody speaking and you don't quite understand what their words are, but you understand the meaning and the intention of what they say, then it's not always that confusing. And I know this is true because I speak a little bit of Spanish, and I understand quite a bit, but I understand individual words more than whole statements and sentences. So that makes listening very difficult, very tiring. And I know that when I've had the most free-flowing Spanish conversation, it's when I'm not so caught up on what I don't understand, and when I allow myself to be in the feeling conversation as well as the verbal, the speaking and hearing conversation. When I allow myself to sort of oscillate between those two aspects of myself, then I believe I've understood. And because you converse in two ways, when I speak, if I've really not understood what's being said to me, when I respond, it's going to be clear that my response is inappropriate or misaligned with the message that I've received. So I know for me, when I'm speaking Spanish in a way that feels the most flowing and that communication seems to move the best, it's really when I'm connected to my heart, when I feel the language rather than hear the language. And so again, this is about my experience. This is about me creating my reality. So the reality is that I might not understand 50% or more of the words that I'm hearing, but my heart is understanding 90% or more of what it's receiving. And if I really tune into the heart, if I really tune into the body, and I really tune deeply down into the feelings, then I believe I get it 100%. Now, the same idea of Dhaarana is what we choose to concentrate on. So I'm choosing to concentrate on this little camera here on the computer, so that for those of you that are watching this on the screen, it looks as though I'm looking at you, but I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at a little thing there on the screen. I'm not looking at you. And if you imagine that I'm looking at you, that's very good. But can you imagine that my heart is open? Can you imagine that my heart is open to share with you how important it's been for me to understand that in my life, how I feel is the most important thing for me. It's the most important thing. How I feel, how much of my attention is in me, is in my body, how much of my subjective awareness is actually paying attention to me and what's going on to me, because I am always in response to my environment, or I'm always in response to what's going on in my mind. That's my body's job. My body's job is to behave and to act in this world. The job of my mind is to help my body, is to support my body by guiding me, by helping me to, it's like by listening to my gut responses to things and then making a choice to pay attention to what's going on in my gut and to find where can I concentrate and focus my mind. Where can I send the energy from my mind and receive energy from the outside that actually makes my body feel at its best? Now, sometimes my body feeling at its best is very uncomfortable, because if I'm trying to learn something new, or if I want to progress, or if I want to develop and grow and evolve, then I do have to step outside of my comfort zone. So, tuning into my body's response and tuning into my gut response of, yes, I want this, or no, I don't want this. My mind does have a lot of work to do to discern, is this yes best for me? Or is this yes to serve somebody else because I want something that I don't have? Maybe that person's love or that person's attention, and I don't yet have it and I want it. Or is this yes actually good for me as a being that I am? Because this is the work for me. This is the deepest part of the work that I do, to discern between what yeses are driven by programs that are not mine and don't serve me, and what yeses are driven by this intelligent body. Do you know how intelligent your body is? I love this. This body is just so amazing. I bruised myself the other day. The bruise went blue and then yellow, and now it's gone. My mind wasn't involved in that process. My mind didn't say, oh, now you've banged it. Oh, firstly, it goes red, doesn't it? So I had a red mark. And then after about half an hour, it started to go blue. And there's nothing there now. And then it went really, really yellow. It was very yellow. It was a bit like a lemon. Looked like somebody had put lemon on my skin, the colour. And now it's gone. My mind had nothing to do with any of that. If I were to be pregnant and to have a baby, my mind has nothing to do with any of that process. The process of conception, the process of the baby growing, the process of the birth of the baby. My mind can get in the way. My mind can send fear signals from my imagination into the body, and the body will become tense, and the body will actually go into fight or flight and it's not in flow. Fight or flight is like the opposite of deep flow. So my mind can get in the way. And so, as I say, my deepest work is to allow me to get my mind out of the way so that I can get back to the brilliant intelligence of this body. And I'm just going to finish off with a point about what I do, what the work that I'm doing at the moment that is really helping people. And I'm absolutely loving the results that we get, the effects that it has on people's lives. So Speak Easy. Speak Easy is a program to help people who have stage fright. But it's not just stage fright, standing on a stage with a microphone and a sweaty hand and shaky knees and a dry mouth and a blank mind. It's not just about stage fright. Stage fright and Speak Easy are actually about how do I allow this brilliant, intelligent body to express itself. Because everything I do is about expression. Public speaking, it's about expression. Yoga is about the expression of the body and the mind and the spirit as a united entity. The Stardust campaign that I'm working on with Marina at the moment is expressing your message, your brilliance to people and doing it in a way that they want it and they get it. So Speak Easy for me is really, it's coined what I do brilliantly, because when I talk about speaking, I mean expressing, I mean communicating, I mean delivering. This is all what I'm talking about when I say speak. And easy is that it just flows, that it's natural, that it's not creating any hiccups, it's not creating any problems. And you're fortunate enough to be able to get to meet me and meet some of the other brilliant role models that I just talked about, and many, many more amazing people. Because next week, on the 31st of May and on the 1st of June, we're holding events in Battersea. It's right near Battersea Dogs Home, just around the corner from Battersea Dogs Home. So in the famous Battersea in central London, on the 31st of May, there is an event which is where you will be able to, it's a gala evening, where you're going to be able to meet people who are what we call members of the Stardust Hub. So in the Stardust Hub, we are a community of people who recognize that we are all made of stardust. Did you know that? You are made of stardust? Because absolutely you are. We all are. Because the earth is made from a star. Every piece of matter and material that we know from all of the sciences that are currently available to us, we know that we've all come from stars. So you are stardust, I am stardust. So come along on the 31st of May and meet us at the Stardust Hub, where you're going to be able to celebrate your movie, celebrate your life, with a group full of a room full of amazing people, and make so many brilliant friends and connections to help you move forward and to help you be more clear on how you can speak easy, how you can share your message, how you can deliver the brilliance that you are to this world. And then on the 1st of June, even better, on the 1st of June, it's International Children's Day. And on International Children's Day, on the 1st of June, we will be sharing a brilliant Stardust event for children. Now, there is a family with 5 children, Sabrina Ben Salmi's family. She has 5 children, and she's going to host an event where people can come together to understand how to allow children to shine, how to allow themselves to shine, and so how to allow everybody to shine. Because it's so important that we allow this inner expression of who we are, that we discern with our mind, where do we pay attention? What is it that we pay attention to? How can we become our best selves? How can we shine like the stars that we are and be the superstar of your movie? Like I am the superstar in my movie, and I'm loving every minute of it, and I would love you to join me. If you want more details about both of these events, you can go to radioworks.world. radioworks.world. The website has got all the information about how to get to the events, about what you need to do to get there. So for the price of a cinema ticket, because that's all it's going to cost, for the price of a cinema ticket, rather than go and watch somebody else's movie full of people you don't know and you've never met, and there's probably no chance that you ever will. You know, a bit like Dalai Lama for me, or Nelson Mandela. In fact, I did meet the Dalai Lama, but he was quite a few yards away. I went to see him speak. So come and make your own movie. Be the star in your own movie. Come and join us at the Stardust Hub and find out how you can do that at the radioworks.world website. And I look forward to speaking to you next week on Wednesday. And I look forward to meeting you on the red carpet, having some professional photographs taken, sharing your Stardust. And I would love to be able to sprinkle a little of my Stardust onto you too. So come and join us next week, and I look forward to speaking to you all then. Namaste and goodbye.